coaching wise?
You know, some of the kids that are in the portal are going to graduate. They're going to walk out of here with Syracuse degrees. Curtis Harper walked out of here with an undergrad and graduate degree. So that's great. They did what they came to go to college for. They graduated, they have eligibility left. So they have the right to go play someplace else, and they should exercise that right. I think a lot, when you look at what's in the portal, a lot of it's playing time, right? You know, and that's the reality of the transfer portal 2021. We need to use the portal to our advantage. We're gonna have kids go in the portal. We need to be active in the portal and identify kids who have the right character, who have the right football skills, who can be good fits in this program to help complement and build out our program.
Thank you. We'll go to Stephen Bailey.
Hey, John, I think when you watched this team toward the end of the season, it was pretty clear that the lack of a vertical passing game, maybe special teams aside, was the biggest issue. What gives you confidence that this can get better? And obviously you have an offensive coordinator vacancy. How does that fit in? What are you looking for there to, I guess, help with that?
Yeah, I mean, coach is ultimately, he'll hire the offensive coordinator. We've talked about somebody who's worked and has developed quarterbacks. I think that's important. Garrett's got ability. We've got to refine that ability. You know, he didn't start till week 4. So the offseason is going to be critically important for him and the wide receivers to just get more comfortable with one another. The wide receivers we have are relatively young when you look at that roster as well. So their development in the offseason, the development of that passing game is going to be critically important. And if we can do that, and we can throw the ball effectively, again, when you complement what we did with the run game, when we have a first team All-American running back, this can be a really difficult offense to prepare for. And that's what we need to get to, and that's our goal.
If you look back at the last 3 seasons, I think there have been some thematic issues with the passing game, the choice routes, communication. I understand injuries are a factor there, but do you believe that path and this system is still pretty much what we're going to see next year?
Yeah, I think every system is refined year to year. I mean, it's you know it, Stephen, across the country, every system is refined. Defense, offense, special teams, every single staff, 130 schools that play FBS football, they're refining their systems. You know, to say, well, this is what the system was 6 years ago, no, because this sport is always in a constant change and evolution. On the offensive side, on the defensive side, and the special teams side.
Thanks, John. We'll go to Stephen Fonte.
You mentioned the young talent in this program, the potential there for 18 starters to come back. You've got some special players in the program, Sean Tucker, Garrett Williams, Deuce Chestnut, so on and so forth. Do you get the input of the players on a decision like this, given the day and age we live in with the transfer portal and whatnot? I mean, did you get their opinion, I guess, at all, and did they have a say?
You know, Steve, you know, what they have to say is they have a say now with the portal where they go to school, where they go play, right? Decisions in terms of coaches, those are decisions that I make, and I consult with the appropriate leaders in the university and outside the university as well, in terms of trustees, et cetera, that type of thing.
You feel like, Dino has the players back?
I do. You know why? They play hard for him. They played hard for him this year. They played hard last year in a really challenging year. We were just outmanned, right? Our offensive line was depleted. I think the Notre Dame game, they were ranked 2nd at the time. We started 5 true freshmen, but we played hard. If we weren't playing hard, that sends a clear message. But our team played hard all year.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Brent and then Chris.
John, you mentioned the support you need from everybody, fans, alums, everybody involved there. Why is this plan the plan that's going to work?
Brent, I think it'll work because, again, in the areas of the progress that we made this year, and last year I remember when I met with you guys and I said, we need to address our offensive line and our inability to run the ball, and we addressed that. And we need, and we will address our shortcomings, head on. And it's going to be critical, the 3 hires that we make. Tony White was a terrific hire. Mike Schmidt was a terrific hire. We need to make 3 really good hires.
Thanks, John. We'll go to Chris and then Stephen.
John, one of the hot button issues has been game management, clock management.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we would beat it if there were what's your assessment of how Dino has done there? And have you had any conversations about, whether that can get better and how?
We've talked about it. To me, what we've talked about is just, at times, I felt we weren't as efficient, right, getting calls from upstairs, on offense, from upstairs down to the field in the game. We need to be more efficient, we need to be more crisp there. Game management and clock management, I mean, you can second guess that, people can second guess that every single day. And it doesn't matter whether it's Coach Babers or any other program. You can say, well, if you did this and this played out and that scenario played out, this would happen. But you make hundreds of decisions in a football game. The head coach does hundreds of decisions. But what we talked about is the efficiency of getting our calls in, getting them down, getting in, and running our plays efficiently.
Do you feel confident there's a plan in place for that to get better?
Yes.
Time for 2 final questions. We'll go to Stephen and then Anish.
Hey, John, you've talked about the importance of bringing Tony White back. I suspect when you go through a process like this, you look at the other side of the coin and what might be next if you were to move on from Dino. Does Tony check any of those boxes, given what he's done with the 3-3-5 and the kind of carte blanche he has on defense? I guess if you're not willing to go there, what jumps out to you about his leadership style?
Number one, I think he's a really good strategist. He's an excellent recruiter. He connects with his team, with his defense. They play hard for him. I'm excited to get another year in that system for that group. Last year when you have 2 new offensive coordinators and no spring ball and COVID, you're doing everything by Zoom, the install is really, really hard. What we accomplished this year, I thought was significant on defense. And to see him build upon that for next year, I think Tony White's an outstanding football coach. And I'm not saying that, someday he has the qualities to be a head coach.
Thanks, John. We'll go to Anish for our last question.
So over the last few years, there's been assistant coaches that have been relieved from the team. But how many assistant coaches do you think need to be relieved before you realize that it falls on Dino and Dino's job is on the chopping block instead of these assistants?
Well, again, I think, in some areas, hey, if you blow the whole thing up, that might be the most popular thing. You bring in a new head coach. That new head coach is going to want to bring in their staff. Okay, that means Tony White's not here. Well, we just had a defense that's like a top 25 defense. So why would you do that, right? We just had a run game, which is the best in the ACC. So what we've got to do is we've got to find quality assistant position coaches of the caliber of Tony and Mike and the others that, again, we'll know quickly and shortly in terms of whether they're going to do the program or not, to continue to build this program. The quality of your assistant coaches is incredibly important, particularly in the sport of football.